Yes, hello and welcome to my small iPianoChords tutorial. iPiano is a short chord search engine and is developed based on my previous iPhone version for the same purpose. If I start that one, it's currently running in a simulator because it's much more easier for me to show you something on the simulator instead of capturing the real iPad. So it's now started. The first thing we need to do, probably we need to change the language to English with the language button here on the left. This tutorial is split in some separate points. This first small part is to describe the sections here, what you see in the iPianoChords. On the top left, this is the quiz mode where you can train your chord skills and knowledge. We have some settings here in the middle area. We have the note system part here, the chord display section. We have here some infos and the play buttons for the chords. We have the root note selection line here, and in the bottom there are the screens and views to select your current chord. And for this we have 4 items and 4 possibilities to select a chord where you need to get infos and how to play it on the piano or on the keyboard. Each of these 4 sections are described a bit later more in detail. Let's start first with the keys input mode. So if you go to the mode selection box and selecting buttons, then you have for any chord here in the system, you have one single button for every chord. And if you see these 20 buttons here, and you can scroll through the list of buttons, and you can see we have lots of chords in the library, and there's currently, I think it's 192 chords for each root note. So we are talking about 2,300 chords roundabout. So that means this is not very comfortable to scroll and to find a chord here. So this is the reason why we have added a filters value and a filter base for to limit the number of chords you have in that list. And on the right here you see it's starting with an N. This means please show me only chords with a specific number of keys in that chord. For example, if I change the value here to 3, sorry, it was too fast, to 3, then we only see a list of chords with maximum 3 keys on the keyboard. We have additionally, we could select here the level. This is the difficulty level, and it's very subjective, but it's my feeling how difficult a chord would be to play here. So this is level 3. It's an easy level, and so usually you have maximum 3 or 4 keys, and the distance between the keys is not very hard to play. And if you go on further here with level 4, you have some more in that list. And if you go to 6, for example, difficulty 6 is quite huge, so you have very difficult chords here in that list, very hard to play, mostly 2-hand chords, and yeah, not easy at all. The third option here is U is for usage, chord usage. This is what I think which chords are very often used. If we start with the much with the chords are used most often. But this is as well subjective, so yeah, maybe you have a different meaning about that. So the last one is simply the character count. So if the chord name has, in that case, 3 characters maximum, it's on that list. And if we set that to 4, and then we have maximum 4 characters for the chord name here. It looks on the first view it looks a bit senseless, but at the end you will recognize that so more letters in a chord name, so more difficult the chords usually are. If you want to remember which value which name is for which value, you can press the info button here, and then it gives you a small hint about the keys in every section. So this is not only on this area, it's on every area you have this small info button. So this is about the key mode, and now we can switch to the filter mode. Yeah, the second input mode is, as mentioned, the filter mode. I think the filter mode, for me personally, I think it's the most comfortable way to search for a specific chord. That means if you just click here on part of the chord name. For example, if you're looking for a major 7 sus 2, for example, you simply click 7, you click on sus, so on 2 and on sus, and then you have the chord here, and it's displayed on the top. So with the reset button you can come to startup again. For example, you want to have a major 7, click on major, click on 7, and here it is. And this is very simple and very fast to select your chord you are searching at the moment. Here on the count list you can see how much chords are in that list here to scroll through. And so if you press reset, you see, okay, this is the total list for C chords in our library. So it's 192 C chords. And by that way we can simply move to this section here on the top, because it's the same for all of the rest input methods. We have here the root note selection. So now we are talking about C major 7, and now we have D major 7 or F major 7, and so you can do that about all root chords. And here is the note numbers in this chord. So it's an F, an A, C, and an E. Here in the bottom list we have alternate chord names, we have the halftone pattern, and we have the chord formula, so that you can see if you select here a sharp 5. So now we're talking about G flat sharp 5 chord, and you can see this is the first note, the third, and the fifth note is sharpened, and the eighth note. So this is simplest way. And on the third step, let's go through the third mode, which is searching for chords. The third mode is the search mode, and this one is doing the job vice versa. So it's you are entering the keys, and it will give you as result all chords he finds matching exact your keys entered. Let me give an example with an F. So now I have entered an F chord. It shows me this is F, and it will display here the F chord, and it will select the root note to F. Everything here on the top is matching our selection here in the bottom. And what we see here on the second one is that the A minor sharp 5 in the second inversion has exactly the same keys in its chord. And so you can have up to 4 here, 3 or 4, usually maximum on different charts with the same search result here. We have some more options regarding this color shading here on top, but I will tell that later if we talk about Chord Painter. Good. And go to the last one, which is scales. The scale mode is more or less a bonus on that. So I have added all the the most common scales here, and you simply need to select one of these, and you will see all scales in one octave position, matching to, in that case, blues scale. On that list here on the right, you will see all of the rest scales. Chromatic goes every note, yeah. Scales in the library. Just simply select one of these, or one of the majors ones, and you can see here is the result, and you can as well select the root notes, and you can also play that in the middle octave, lower octave, or higher octave. Good. That's all of the 4 input modes, and the next thing is describing the note system. Our note system on the left here is just added on some requests on the iPiano version on the iPhone. So we have more space. More or less we have added the note system here, where you can see the current chord here, and this current chord is displayed in an upper section, a middle section, and a lower section. And in all cases, if it matches to that positions, so it must be spaced there to move it far enough to the up or to the bottom. And so we have also added the bass note system, so you can add sharps here, and you can also add flats, and in the middle of all you have a reset for that. And if we go for a minor chord, for example, let's choose that one. You can see if you have this flat note here on the left, on the right, and at some time when the flat matches this note, so we do everything correct here. And this is the same if the notes doesn't match on the current position. So like you have maybe seen here, It was a flat note. Now this note is set to sharp, so this doesn't match. So we move the note one below, make it sharp, and so that everything is correct for this chord. Yeah, so this is the note system, and now let's come to the interesting top level block. But before I do that, I will just go back to the search mode to explain shortly our chord painter. Yeah, the thing I like to explain is the chord painter function, and this is made because I know that some keyboarders or piano players don't really like to spend their time learning notes and reading notes in real time, and why don't do that in a similar way like all of these guitar players having their songbooks with the chords written on top and a small tabulator diagram there. It's quite easy, good to handle, and it's very good for most of the common situations. So why don't use that within piano on a note sheet? The problem is probably because we have lots of keys we have to enter on that sheet, so that means we don't have a very small tab diagram we can have for guitars. It's much bigger here. So the question is, how can we handle this space? And our thought was we usually could split one frame or one bar in a song. We could bring that down to a major chord in this bar. We have some solo notes maybe, and on the left hand we have some bass notes. And what we have done here is you can change the color here from red to yellow or to blue. And red, we have chosen, this is the major chord, in that case F. For example, we have two solo notes we will play on that chord, and our bass on the left, it simply plays F in one chord octave position. And this completely could be exported to your image library. If you press the snapshot function here, and you can now enter a name. The name is that one we have currently found on your input. For this input only the yellow and red keys are used, not the blue markers. And then you can write something on top. And if you close the keyboard, it will save it to your image library. On iOS 6 you need to confirm that, so that my app is allowed to access your image library. But in that case you have only this keys area with the colors and the markers and red and yellow, and you have a very big chord name on top, so that you can copy this image into your songbook in each of the bars, and just as a reminder for your song. Good, that's the chord painter function, and the last one to describe is the quiz mode. Yeah, last not least, the quiz mode. The quiz mode is practice your skills and recognize chords. And you can do that by either giving you a short name, and you have to enter the chords in the search area, so the chord keys, or you can get a chord diagram and you have to enter the name. What will happen if you change that here? Here's the mode. So if I change to diagrams, to an image, then it will change the input mode to the filter function. And if I change back to diagram, so to chord name, then you have the search field here. So that makes sense. The we have the quiz levels here on top from 1 to 10. Some words about the levels. 1 to 3 is for beginners. It's maximum 3 or 4 notes in a chord. It's very easy chords as well, easy to get on the keyboard. And I think the first level is without any flats and sharps. From level 4 to 6 it's advanced, and then it becomes really difficult. So the last levels are really hard to work. And we have a quiz timer where you can say, okay, we have 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and that goes up to 60 seconds, or you can switch off the timer completely. The quiz info button is if you work on this mode here, quiz mode, where you enter the where you get a chord name and you have then the input here. Usually if this is checked and you enter the keys, it will show you, this is an F. Yeah, and then you see if it's matching at least partly. And if you switch that off here and you enter something, it will find the chord, it will recognize the chord, and but in quiz mode, when the quiz started, you will not see anything here, here, and here. Good. Let's give us some examples. We start with level 1, and let's start the quiz here on the runner icon. Good. Question, it's ESAS 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, and we go for E. And if you click on the name, then it's your answer. So if I click on that and he told me, that was wrong. Next one is E5. Power chord, but with octave. So should be that one. And you press here, and this one is correct. So we have one green answer for correct, one red answer for not okay. And if I switch quiz info on, then I can go on here, and it says, it's A5. But the question was A5 with octave, so it must be that one. Yeah. So this, you can see what it's the helping function here, and we are just running with a very easy level, so that's fine. Good. If we stop the quiz and go back to the other version, we start the quiz, and now you get a short diagram and have you to enter here. So this is a 5 chord without octave, and it's an F, so that's fine. I click here, should be okay. So now I think it's still a 5, and we have the root note C, and should be okay. Good. And as well, here you have the answer. For example, if I go, that's as well a 5, 5 sharp, and let's choose the wrong button here. Let's choose A flat, and if I click on that, it's one wrong button here. Good, that's the quiz mode. And for example, if you do something in level 9, starting the quiz, and I don't answer correctly, I just click on it so that you can see there's a much more heavier chords to know about. Good, I think this is covering everything. The only part I've forgotten I've seen is if you have any chord selected, let's say a major C, if you click on here, you can switch between root note, inversion 1, and another click is inversion 2, and then goes back to root note. And the yellow dots here are showing the root note, so in that case C. Good. I think that's now everything is covered. Don't forget that you can on any time ask our online help here if you have any question for specific functions or infos here on the screen. So hope that was helpful. Have fun with iPianoChords HD. Thanks. Bye.